Of course, if you can't see me, let me know. And start to breathe against your hands. So I'm placing a block under each knee just to give me a little bit more relief in my hips. The same thing would be sitting on a block. Close your eyes, gaze to the tip of your nose, and start to fill up with prana, energy, life force, chi. And as I inhale, I push the belly against the hand. And then as the air rises, the oxygen rises through my body, I press the chest against the hand. So I have this fullness of breath. And then empty it out and notice that the chest and the belly fall. So just connecting to the breath for a few moments. And at this point you can set an intention for yourself, a thought, a desire, a practice, or a thought that you'd like to share into the universe, or keep to yourself. Keep reflecting back on it through your practice, so we don't get so lost in the physicality of the practice that we come back to the stillness, the peace, the beauty, the breath. After you empty the next breath, just bring your hands to your heart center and touch gently the thumbs to the beating heart. Gently drop your chin down towards your collarbones and stretch out the back side of the neck. Taking back that intention one more time. And then touching the thumbs to the space between the brows. Sealing the intention there. And then bring the hands to the top of the head, palms together. Inhale, stretch the arms all the way up and open up your arms. Spread the arms, spread the fingers. It's like you're playing piano a little bit. Roll through the wrists. And then take your arms together. They don't have to touch. Bend the elbows and just place the fingers between your two shoulder blades, pointing the elbows forward. If you were on your forearms, you might be thinking, well, I could go into a headstand from here, and you'd be correct. Or a dolphin pose, kind of all the same movement of the arm, or placement of the arms. Good, but it's also a nice stretch for the triceps, if anybody feels that from yesterday's workout, perhaps. And then interlace your fingers together. Open the elbows out to the side and let your head rest in your arms and spread the chest, shoulders open. Lift out of your waistline, grounding your sitting bones. Take a breath here, pause, and just turn your torso to the right side, as much or as little as it goes. Breathing in, fully, deeply, completely. Find a little bit more space, exhaling. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn your torso to the left. You might notice one side has a little bit more space than the other, perhaps. Nothing wrong with it, it's just noticing, right? Doesn't mean you're good, bad, or indifferent. Come back to center, inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Exhale, take the arms in front of you, pull the chin towards the chest, round your back away from your sitting bones, scoop your belly in like a giant cat stretch, and then inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, float the arms down, right arm behind you, left arm outside your right knee. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Don't force it, just let your body go where, it's early in the morning for some of us. Some people have not done anything but brush their teeth. Hi, Maria. Inhale, bring it up, maybe not even that. Exhale to the other side. Lengthening on the inhale, deepening on the exhale. Good, inhale back to center. Reach the arms up. Hinge forward, fold forward, walk your hands out wherever, just as long as you keep your hips connected to the ground. Pull the shoulders back, run the collarbones, just breathe. You probably feel something more in the leg that's in front, in the hip of the leg that's in front. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands back in, lean back, and begin to shake out your legs. switch the cross of the legs. Easy peasy. This is the less familiar side perhaps, but you know, we just have habits, right? So we'll change it up and make sure that we get both sides. Take your palms, interlace the fingers, one finger over. Bring the arms out and bring them back up. Exhale, bring the hands back behind your head. Let your head rest in and then bring your elbows forward again. Inhale, lift out of your sitting bones. Turn to the right side. Inhale to center, to the other side. Inhale to the center, open your elbows out to the side. Good. Exhale, rotate again. This time, bring the right hand down and lean back. Bend the elbow on the right hand, on the right arm. Come back up, straighten the arm. Take your left elbow outside your right knee. Inhale, come back up. Open your torso to the center. Take your right arm back up. Interlace your fingers whichever way feels right. Turn to your left side. Release your left arm behind you. Bend the elbow as you lean back. And then come back up and take your right arm outside your left thigh. Inhale back to center. Turn it around. Take your arms together over your head now. Exhale, arms in front. Pull your belly in, round your spine. Inhale, lift up. And let's just release the arms in front of us. Walk your hands forward. Go as far as you can without lifting your hips up off the floor or whatever you're sitting on. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. From here, find your way onto your hands and knees. You can roll over or just simply move your legs behind you. And then stretch your legs back behind you. Just shake out the knees. If you need padding, grab it. And then place all four paws on the floor. Your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, hips and shoulders width apart. A little bit more movement in a cat and cow. You can tuck your toes, arch your back, dip your belly, broaden your collarbones, and round and curl your spine. So extend and expand. Exhale, round and curl. Push the earth away. Inhale, arch the back, tuck the toes. Exhale, round and curl. Continue with this, or perhaps make some circular motions. And you can walk your hands a little bit more forward, your hips a little bit more back, and just getting a little bit more joint juiciness. And then let's reverse the circle if you're doing that. And let's visit a child's pose for a moment. Knees wide, hips back. Stretch your arms in front of you. And just like we did earlier, bend your arms. Place your hands at the nape of your neck so your elbows are on the floor by each ear. Nice stretch for our tricep. Breathe in, set it, revisit your intention, I should say. Good, one more breath, brings the arms down. Wide, extended child's pose. Inhale back to your hands and knees, hands a little bit in front of you. Lower your belly to the floor. Elbows in by your side, crown of the head forward. Squeeze your elbows in, broaden that. Bringing the elbows back and together will open up the collarbones a little bit more. I think somebody's unmuted, so I'll go ahead and fix that. And maybe lift your hands off. Oh, guilty. Maybe lift your hands off the floor a little bit to know that you're working with the back muscles. And then lower your chest to the floor. I'm just moving back a little bit here. And let's do that again, but move your hands back a handprint. Keep your feet wide. Lift your chest up a little bit more into a cobra. Elbows in, shoulders back. Squeeze in there. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. And let's push all the way back to our child's pose. Sit your hips all the way back to your Inhale to hands and knees. Stretch your right foot back behind you, tuck the toes beneath you. Press the left top of the foot shin down as you lift the right leg up in the air and square the hips. So drop the right hip down. Press the right heel back away from you. Inhale, bend your knee to your right tricep. Lift the hip high. Extend the leg out and place it on the floor. Walk your hands forward and push your weight back towards your heels. You don't have to sit down, right? Just get this nice shape. Take your right arm underneath your left arm and turn your right ear towards the floor. Inhale back to your center. Walk your hands in, bring a block if you'd like to. Come up under your tail, so it would be like your tabletop with your right leg out to the side. And then inhale, hands to your hips, rise up to standing. Inhale, bring your arms out shoulder height. Exhale, reach to your left side, should be your left side, the bent knee. Left hand on the floor or the block. Right arm up and the foot stays on the floor. Spin your heart open. Press your right big toe, little toe down, nice and firm. Right arm comes overhead. Inhale. Exhale, lift a little higher. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Rise up and lean over to your right side. Right hand just goes down the right side, body up and over. Inhale, back to center, arms up high, shoulder height. Hands down on the floor. Draw your right leg in a semicircle behind you and out to the left side of your mat. It's like a curtsy. When I tell you curtsy lunge, bring your hips to the center, do the same thing. Bring your hips all the way to the center. Take your right knee. This is tricky, guys, and it's early in the practice, so grab a block. Right knee behind left knee, and either sit on the floor or sit on a block into your cow pose. Like I said, it's early in the practice, so it's kind of challenging. Expect that the top knee may lift a little higher than it would perhaps in about another 30 to 40 minutes. Take your hands on your instep of your foot and just give it a little gentle massage and close your eyes. Just breathe. Nothing crazy, right? Just a little hip opening. Just a little conversation with what's going on in our hips today. I have a conversation with my hips any day. They have a lot to talk about. Now release your arms and take them overhead. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Hinge forward, right arm outside, left thigh twist. Try to do this with keeping your left hip grounded more. 2 more big breaths here. One more big breath here. Inhale, come on back to center. Exhale, release your hands to the floor. Come off your block, bring it to the side. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes underneath you so your legs are still crossed, and lift them to a downward facing dog. So right leg is to the left leg is to the right, left leg is to the, left leg is to the right leg is to the left, all the same. Walk your hands back to your feet. You're still in a crossover position. Chin to chest, roll through your spine, rise up to standing, bring the arms with you. Exhale, lift up and over to the right side. Inhale back to center, up and over to the left side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, forward fold. Walk your hands out in front of you. Come into your downward facing dog. And just separate your feet into your traditional dog pose. Inhale to a high plank. Knees are under hips, lower the knees to the floor. Step your left leg back, tuck the toes underneath you, level out your hips, and lift your left foot off the floor. Square the hips. So in that squaring of the hips, the belly draws in, the ribs draw in, so we're not like ski sloping our back. Breathe in, bring your left knee to your left tricep, extend the leg out to the side, and lower the foot to the floor. Hi, Cindy. All right, so Your left leg is out, your arms are beneath you. Take your left arm under your right arm and bring your back of your ear towards the floor. You can move your right arm forward if it makes you feel more stable. Try to keep the hips over the knees here. Another breath. Inhale, come to center. Good. Push your weight back a little bit. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Take your arms to your hips and rise up. I almost skipped this. Arms out to the side. Have a block if you'd like under your right hand as you move to the right side. Right arm down, left arm up, T shape. Think about triangle. And then bring the arm up over your head, heart opens. Pressing your left big toe, little toe, ball of the foot into the floor. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, left arm down, right arm up. Spin it over or not. Just use the arm against the thigh to help turn the right or the torso towards the right. Inhale back to center, arms shoulder height. Exhale, hands to the floor. Draw a semicircle with your left leg behind you. Take the foot on the floor and then draw your right hip back to center. Bring your left knee behind your right knee. Open up your feet. Take your block again and have a seat on the floor or the block. So if your hips are tight, like mine, the block is a nice addition. Take your thumbs into your instep, give a little massage. Perhaps you walked around a lot yesterday or you ran. And then take a breath in, arms come up. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Say hello. Twist to the right, left elbow outside right thigh, and twist. Inhale, back to your center. Release your arms out, up and up. Come forward, come off your block, move it back out to the side. Tuck your toes underneath you, lift your hips in the air, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Wow, they just don't get it, do they? Roll up through your spine, bring your arms overhead. Interlace your fingers. Sorry for at home you can't see my head. Lean to the left side. Inhale, lean to the right side. Inhale back to center. Open the arms and forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk out. Exhale to your downward facing dog, still with a crossed leg. And then uncross the legs, downward facing dog. Inhale on your toes, pull your knees up, pull your pelvic muscles up. Shift forward to a high plank. Look forward. Bend your knees and elbows, or just bend your elbows halfway down. Roll up and through, upward facing dog. So remember, when we do these vinyasas, you can add to it, you can take away, downward facing dog. So when we move through that plank chaturanga, you can choose how you want to move, right? You can do the whole thing or none of it and stay in dog or child's pose. Rise up high on your toes, bend your knees and look forward. Take yourself to the top of your mat, halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Bend your knees a little bit here, or a little bit or a lot, so that your belly can actually rest on your thighs for a moment. Plant your palms down right in front of your feet. So you might have to bend your knees a lot to do that. Good. Now, come to your fingertips, little tenty fingers. Lengthen your spine. And forward fold. Now decide, do you want to straighten your legs a little bit more? Send your weight towards the instep of the foot rather than the heels. But you're not lifting up onto your toes. Your heels are still grounded. Good. Take your arms back by your ears, like we did before. Interlace your fingers. Bring the chin to the chest and start to roll through your spine slowly. When you come up to standing, open up the heart, open up the arms. Inhale and exhale. Good, so just open up your chest, your throat. We're lifting up nice and strong. And then come back to center. Bring your arms up over your head. Interlace your fingers. Exhale, up and over to the right side. Lift out of your waistline. Inhale back to center. And exhale, up and over to the other side. Inhale back to center, lift your heart. Open up your arms. Exhale, fold forward, bring your hands behind your back, and head down towards your shins, arms come all the way up. Inhale, release your hands to the floor. Now next to your feet or on blocks. Exhale, step to a high plank. Pause. Good. Lower your knees. Lower your upper body to the floor. Inhale, low cobra, elbows squeeze in, head forward. Exhale, seat on your heels and tuck your toes. Inhale, lift your knees up, hips up in the air, downward dog. All things we've done. Inhale to a high plank pose. Shift forward, bend your elbows halfway. You can bring your knees down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So dog becomes a little rest pose for us. We stay as long as we need. Or if you're ready, high on your toes, take yourself to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, bring the arms with you. Exhale, bring prayer to your heart center, arms down by your side. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold halfway down, all the way down, excuse me. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the other leg back first, come to a high plank, shift forward. Good, bend your knees to the earth. Exhale, lay your belly to the floor. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, sit to heels, toes tuck. Knees lift, downward facing dog. Inhale to a high plank, shift forward, choose to be on your knees or bend your elbows halfway. Whoops. And upward dog. I lost my cobra, my push-up there. Downward dog, hips high. Couple breaths here, recovering. It's a strong sequence. Inhale on your tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward, take yourself to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, ride your breath to stand, bring the arms up. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Arms down by your side. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to floor, shins blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Step the other leg back, hold your plank for a breath, and then lower your knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, push back, tuck toes under, hips to heels. Inhale from here, knees lift up. Good. Come to a high plank. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, we'll go Cindy, and we'll meet in down dog. So you know you can always add or take away chaturanga push-ups in there. Bring your feet closer together. Inhale high on your tippy toes. Bring your chest towards your thighs. Let your neck be long. Stretch the right leg high in the sky. Lower the left heel. Turn the right toes down. Hips are level. Breathe in and out. Inhale, bring your knee to your chest. Shift forward, high plank or low plank, but knee to chest. Right foot comes between your hands. If you'd like to grab a block or two, feel free. Good. Just come into this low lunge. Left leg long, strong, or on the floor if you'd like it. And then begin to hover your fingertips off the floor. Push down through your leg, rise up. Crescent lunge. Exhale, interlace your fingers, bring your hands behind your head, stretch your elbows forward, lift your heart up, drop your back hip low. Good. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, open your arms to a T if you have the space. If you don't, just bend your elbows a little bit. Turn your torso to the left. Turn your left foot to the left. Warrior two. Back toes, turn towards the front of the mat. Reach your right arm forward, left arm back. Try to sink down a little bit lower by lowering your hips, not by going into your knee. Left arm down, right arm up. Lift out of your waistline. Good. Reach up and back. Good. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, rebend it. Inhale through warrior two, right hand on the inside or on a block. Let's just take it here without a bind right now. So stretch your left arm over your head, right arm underneath you. Bring your tailbone underneath and lift your heart open. Inhale, look down at your right toes. Straighten your right leg. If you have a block, you might want to walk it further back or higher. And stack your torso. Open your shoulders on top of each other. Draw your right hip towards the left. Open up through your left side torso. Breathe in, breathe out. Big toe pressing down firmly. One more breath. Looking down at the right foot. Inhale, rise up, reverse it with a straight leg front. Exhale, bend your front knee, hands on the floor blocks. Good. Step back, three-legged dog, same leg, right leg in the air. This time let's go ahead and open the hip. And then take 4 feet on the floor. 4 paws, downward dog. Bring your feet together, float your left leg high. Come high on your toes. Then lower your right heel, square your hips. Pull your left leg back. Exhale, left knee to your chest. Step your left foot through. Set it up. And then perhaps you place your hand on the blocks so you can keep your hips low without compromising your spine, your thighs. And then begin to hover. So get some strength into the front leg. Strength always in the back leg as well. Good. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Bend your back knee to drop your hips low and then sink into it. Straighten your back leg. Good. Good. Bring your hands behind your head. Lift your heart a little bit more. Inhale, arms up. Open to a T. Exhale, turn your torso to the right. Spin your back foot on its side. Warrior two. Pull back with your right arm, front with your left. Gaze to your left hand. Inhale and exhale. So think about pulling your left knee towards your left hip or to the left pinky toe. All the toes are firmly grounded onto the earth. Good. Inhale, reverse it. Right arm down, left arm up. Lift out of your waistline. Good. Inhale, come back to center, warrior two. Exhale, reach forward, left hand on the inside or on a block. Right arm up over your shoulder. Both sides of your feet are firmly grounded. Lift the left waistline up and in. Spin your right heart, shoulder open. Breathe in, breathe out. So in this next pose, we straighten the front leg. So go ahead and straighten it. And then you may even want to move the block back or higher if you're on the block for triangle. And as we reach up with our right hand, we bring our left hip over towards the right side. Strong footing. You know, your feet are really the essence, besides the breath, the essence of a standing practice, right? Your foundations. So without the strength in your foundations, we're wobbly. Look down, just think about your house. Look down at your left toes, inhale, rise up and reverse it. So thinking about the right hip, not dumping the waistline on it, but lifting and pulling that hip towards the front. Take another breath. Exhale, release your hands, come forward. Turn it forward. Three-legged downward dog, left leg in the air. 4 on the floor. Now stay here or vinyasa. Bend your elbows. Inhale, upward dog. Take your time in your vinyasa I mean, obviously if you're doing a lot of push-ups, you're taking some more time, but pause each step of the way. No need to rush through it. It's like a 2, 3, 4 count movement. Bring your feet together, right leg in the air. Right leg steps through the center. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the arms. Inhale, open the arms to a T. Exhale, turn to your left side, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, side angle. Right hand inside on the block or the floor. And now if you'd like to take your left arm and bind it behind your back, maybe you reach the inside of your right thigh. Some of you will take a full bind as long as your shoulders stay open. All right, so pull the left shoulder back. There should be no collapsing in the torso. Inhale and exhale. Good, keeping your arms bound, half or full. Straighten your front leg. Open up your torso. Good, if you are bound, release the right arm down, left arm up, triangle pose. So turning your torso, getting a little bit more length, a little bit more stretch, a little bit more movement. Look down, inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, Baiti. I see you getting ready. Turn your right toes to the left. Good. Inhale, bring your arms behind your back. Take your palms together up towards your head or grab opposite elbows, fingers, wrists, forearms. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, halfway down. When you get halfway down, notice if your knees are pulling behind your hips or begin to shift your weight towards the front of your feet. Again, without lifting your heels up, and then fold your body in half. Good. If your arms are anywhere behind your back, just take them back to the floor under your shoulders. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Walk your hands, inhale. Walk your hands to the right side. Hands on the inside of your right foot. Take your right foot out to the right side, wide. Take your left arm down, right arm up. So we turned our toes out. We opened up our hip, our foot is firmly planted, and we're in kind of a lunge twist, a little bit of a funky lunge twist. Take a breath. Good, look down and lower your left knee. You can stay right here, or bend your left leg and reach behind it with your right hand. For it, I should say. Right? So you're a little bit more open in your torso here, so perhaps this gets you into a space that you can grab your foot. Breathe in, breathe out. You can look, you can bend the arm, you can kick the leg away. I'm going to leave it up to you today. Inhale. Slowly let go if you're holding. Exhale, bring the arms back to center. Bring your forearms to the floor. Same position we've been working in. Stay with me for a breath. Inhale, hands come down. Take your right foot and just move it back to the center so your hands are on either side. Left toes tucked underneath you, lift the left knee up. Right leg in the air, three-legged dog, open the hip again. Choose to take a one or two-legged vinyasa, so you can, or three-legged or four-legged. Upward dog and downward dog. You can skip the whole thing. Bring your feet together and float your left leg high in the sky. Exhale, step the left foot through. Inhale, rise to your crescent. Bend your arms. Exhale. Good. Inhale, open up. Turn to warrior two, facing the right side of the room. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, side angle. Hand on thigh, inside, on top of a block, right arm up. And then some of you will take a half bind with your right arm behind you. Some of you might take a full bind. Open up your torso, stack your shoulders. Left thigh parallel to the floor. You can back out of it for a moment if you need to. And then sometimes we get a little bit more space that way. But if you are taking your full bind, make sure that right shoulder is open. Your whole entire front body is open. Now, if you're bound, keep it there. Begin to straighten your front leg. And just get a little bit more of that space. And if you're bound, slowly release the bind, left arm down, right arm up. So I can actually feel the lifting of my entire left side body here. My right side is being pulled to the sky. So there's no collapsing. It's a very strong waist trimming pose. Look down, inhale, reverse it. Pull the right hip to the left. Inhale, rise up to stand, turn your left toes to the right, quarter turn. Hands behind your back, whatever you did before, maybe switch the cross if you did. Hands up your back in a prayer, lift your heart. Let's start halfway down so you can just get your alignment. Head aligned with your tailbone. Soft bend in the knees. So the waist shifts slightly forward out of your heels. And then begin to fold, and then you decide, can I get straighter or not? Shifting the weight forward. Head comes down. One more breath. Good. Inhale, release your hands under your shoulders, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold it again. If you do have an inversion practice here, and you want to bring your forearms down and lift your legs up to the sides, feel free to do that. We've been getting the arms there for the whole time. Like that. All right, if you're upside down, come on down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk around to the front of your mat. Take your left toes all the way to the left and turn them out. Hands on the inside. Snuggle it forward. And then lower your right knee to the floor. Get a little deeper. Release the top of the foot. And you can stay there. Or bend your right leg. Take your left arm. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't do the twist. So let's go back up. Knee up. Thank you. I would never want you to be uneven. Keep the twist, but lower the right knee. Now you're set up for perhaps picking up your right foot. Lift your chest up. Try to keep your hips square to the center here, rather than swinging the left hip out. Kind of like what we did way back when we were going into our cow pose. It seems like it was another class, but it was this morning. Breathe in and out. Good. Inhale, if you're holding on, let go. Hands on the inside. And then heel toe your left foot to the center. And step back to a three-legged dog. Choose your way through a vinyasa, 3 or 4 legs, or none at all. And we'll meet in down dog. Inhale high on your toes. Bend your knees and just walk halfway up your mat. Walk your hands to your feet. Take your peace finger grip around your big toes. Look up, inhale. And exhale, thumbs between the fingers and the big toe, and fold forward, head down. Again, shifting the weight forward. Shake it out, yes and no. Pull a little bit closer. Inhale, come up. Bring your hands to your hips and rise up to stand. Arms by your side. Find some stability here for a moment. Find some stillness. Close your eyes. Ground your feet nice and firm. Bring your tailbone beneath you. Open your eyes. Heel toe your feet closer together. Bring your weight to your left leg and open your right hip out to the side. Heel to ankle. Good. Take a breath and bring your foot above or below the knee for tree pose. Hold on to a wall if you need to. Look at you, Maxine. Perfect. Hands to your heart. Hug your left hip into the center. Push your foot against your inner thigh. Stretch the arms overhead. Any variations with your arms. Good. Now, take your left hand onto your left hip. Take your right hand onto your right knee. Lift the foot away from the thigh and hold onto your knee. Open it out. Turn the hip forward. Feet down, arms down. Ground your feet, evenly distributing your weight. Inhale, weight on your right leg. Lift your left heel, turn it out, heel on top of the ankle. And then begin to float it up above or below the knee. Keep it on the floor if you like. Hug your right hip into the center and bring your hands to your heart. When and if you're ready to find your branches, lift them up. Good. Bring your right hand to your hip, left hand to your outer knee, or inner knee actually. And then just let go of the hold. Keep hugging right hip in. Left knee forward. Feet down, arms down. Take a moment. Open your eyes if you close them. Take your right foot open to the side. Once again, place it in for tree. Keep your hands now at your hips. Hug your left hip in. So we're either going to do what we just did by bringing our hand on the inside of the knee, or some of you might take your peace finger grip around your big toe, lift the leg up, stay there, or extend the leg out to the side. Good. So the only thing we did here was we started in the externally rotated position. Now hug your standing leg in close. Look at you guys, awesome job. All right, without coming out of it, take your leg from the side forward. Let it go. Float it down. Separate your feet, fold forward. Let go. We have opposite elbows. Switch the cross of the arms. Release the arms. Tuck your chin to your chest and roll up. Stand up tall, mat pose. Good. Take your left leg, open it out to the side, place it for your tree. Hands are on your hips, leveling out the hips, hugging the right hip in. Stand up nice and tall. So now take your left hand on the inside of your knee or to your big toe, lift it up, hold it there, or extend it out to the side. If it helps you to balance by bringing your right arm out, that's cool. Keep the hip a little bit lower, guys, even if your knee's bent. Come back to center. Release hands to hips. Lower down. Separate your feet. Fold over your legs. Lift your toes up, slide your hands underneath your feet. Wrap your big toe around your wrist, look forward, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, head down, hips up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release your hands and walk the hands forward. Walk the feet back, find a downward facing dog. Decide to stay in dog or take a vinyasa. Come forward to high plank, pause. Exhale, lower down, pause. Inhale, roll over, pause. Downward dog, exhale. Good. Feet together, right leg in the air, open the hip. Bend the knee. Pull out of your left hip, just like we've just been doing. Turn your hips square to center, round and curl. Knee to chest. Chest forward plank, right knee, right wrist, Left toes tucked under, stay upright. In fact, if you have a block, put it underneath your hip. Good. Right under the right sitting bones, so it levels out your pelvis. Good. Stay here for a few breaths. And if you'd like to, bring your arms overhead. So sitting upright on the block, bend your elbows. So this will help for those of you who can. I can't. You want to bend your back leg, hold on to it. Or some of you can grab, actually, the foot with both hands into king pigeon. Good. Or strap. Now, if you have your arm bound, release the right arm. Gently release the left arm, turn your body squared, and come down for your full pigeon. You can remove the block unless you'd like to keep it there to level out your hips. And let's just go forward onto the floor. So notice, I don't know if you can see your camera, your mirrors, if your right hip is like a little bit more sinking onto the floor than your left, then I'd put the block back underneath the hip. But think about the left sitting bone, the left hip bone pressing down towards the floor. Just breathing in and out. Take a few more breaths here. Inhale, lift your chest and place your hands on the floor. If you're on a block, slide it out. Lower your right hip to the floor. Bring your left leg around. Go only the width of your mat. Send your right leg out there as well. Sit up tall, bring your hands in between your two legs. If sitting up tall is not going to happen, close your legs in, bend your knees, or sit on the block. Walk forward and pause. Inhale. Turn your toes up towards your face. You can't see mine. I'll go back a little further. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Keep a long spine. Head to tailbone. Inhale. And exhale. Keep reaching. It's like all these oppositions. The toes pull up, but the heels pull away. The chest pulls forward. The hips pull back. One more breath. Good. Inhale, walk your hands back up. Cross one leg in front of the other. Take yourself forward, step back. You can take vinyasa here or go right to down dog or even child's pose. Bring your feet together. Inhale, float your left leg up, open the hip. Exhale, bring it forward through your plank. Left knee, left wrist. Tuck your back toes underneath you. Shimmy the hip back. If you have your block, take it and sit on top of it under the left sitting bones. So first, just get yourself in an upright position. Not easy, even on a block. Check out your back foot. Make sure it's not like totally sickling in. Try to have the top of the pedicure on the floor. And then walk your hands up and take your arms overhead, perhaps bending the elbows one more time. And then some of you might even take your right hand behind you, grab the foot. Some of you might have both hands that grab the foot. A little bit more intense into the hips on that right leg, yeah? If you have the right arm up, take it forward. Think of it like standing dancer pose. Release the hand, release the foot slowly. We're going to take it down to our full pigeon, so if you'd like to stay on the block, great. If you don't need to, remove it and square your hips. So think about that right hip bone pointing down. So take it as low as you can or want. No judgment. We're all different. It's very muggy here. 3 more breaths. Inhale, hands down, heart lifts. Lower your left hip, move the block if you have it. Take your legs out. As wide as your mat. so it's not very wide. I know some of you can do full splits. Hands in front of you, shoulders back, chest lifts, toes up. I'm going to move back again. Exhale, walk forward. First point of resistance, take a breath. And keep going, exhale. Keep the spine long. Once the spine starts to round, you're too far into it, back off. Because we're working on this slightly externally rotated hip. And reach, take 3 more breaths. Inhale, lift your chest. Walk your hands back in. Exhale, take your hands beside your knees and bring the legs closer, shake them out. Good. Walk yourself so that you're still on your mat when you come down to the floor. Bring your legs together. Let's bend the knees today. In fact, let's put the block between the knees. If you don't have a block, just keep your knees apart. If you have a small Pilates ball, same thing. Hands underneath the thighs, lift your chest. Then I'll turn this way a little bit. Bring your chin to your chest and round your spine. And start to peel down. If you can let go, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. I'm just going to turn my mat a little bit. So we roll down one vertebrae at a time. Lower your head to the floor. Keep the block between the knees if you have it. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. Secure your block. Press down through your feet and the top of your shoulders. Lift your hips in the air. Bridge pose. If you have enough space to take your arms underneath your back, great. Big toe, little toe, boulder foot, heel on the floor. Keep squeezing through your tush. Reach your fingers towards your heels, heels towards your fingers, knees away from your inhale. And exhale. And inhale, release your arms, upper mid, lower back to the floor. Just take your toes wide and turn the toes out, knees in. Toes in, knees in, but legs away from you. You're going to bring your feet back in line with your sitting bones. You still got the block. Inhale, tilt your pelvis. Lift your hips up. Option now, those of you who have a full wheel pose, bring your hands by your shoulders. Try it with the block. It might be a game changer for you. It shows you what you really have to activate to get into this pose. So if you're coming down, hands by your shoulders, head up, and then press through. And notice what you have to do to keep that block from coming away from the inside of your thighs. So the muscles that you're using to keep the block squeezing are the muscles you need to use without a block. Bison. I'm guessing you're going. Thanks. Day job. Got to quit that day job. All right. So if you're in a wheel or bridge, upper, middle, lower, back down, take the block out from underneath you, but keep the block. Lift your hips up and put your sacrum on it. Low side. Right leg in, left leg in, and both legs up in the air. Weight sinks heaven into your hips, into the block, into the floor. Belly pulls towards your spine, ribs pull towards your hips. And just rest your bones. Now go ahead and lower one leg at a time to the floor. Stretch it out if you can. Stretch your arms over your head. Allow your glutes to soften. So by your glutes softening, we'll get a little bit more release in the front of the hips. Bend one leg at a time. Release your arms, lift your hips up. Take the block out, articulate your spine, hug your knees all the way to your chest. Rock on your spine. Massage it. Arms out to the side. Shift your hips right, let your knees fall to the left, twist. You can have the block underneath your feet, in between your legs, under your thigh. Inhale through center, shift your hips left, knees fold to the right, twist. Inhale back to center. Hug your knees to your chest, rounding curl. And stretch your legs out in front of you. Arms by your side. Let go. Take a breath. Empty the breath. Find any points of tension that might remain. You're getting flat because you're in Shavasana. Let go of all physical tension in your body, all distracting thoughts from your mind, and focus on breath only. If you need a focal point, let go. So I welcome you to stay longer in Shavasana just by turning off the sound and staying on your mats. And the rest of you start to deepen your breath. Make small movements in your fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Bring your awareness back into this time and space. Draw your knees up to your chest. Choose a side to lie on. Take a breath or two there as you bring yourself back up, ready for your closing in a comfortable seat, much like we started, hands to your heart center. So honoring yourselves first and foremost, always for showing up, doing the work, and then bowing down to each other. Honoring the light, the peace, the goodness, the beauty, the love within each one. Namaste, Satnam, go in peace. Have a wonderful day. If you are home, stay fit, stay healthy, and get back to wear a mask.